Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share this out with the community. So here comes the puppy. Y'all know what's up. Chase is just running in here. So I think people are not going to like this live, and I just have to keep it a buck. All right, I'm also going to go live on YouTube. And let me make sure that my audio is good to go. Okay, good. Cool. I'm also going to go live on YouTube. I'm live on Instagram. All right. All right, so I'm going to be looking at this camera, which is YouTube, because that's my main audience. So I'm going to go ahead and go live, and we'll get started. Make sure I'm live. All right, you guys. So this is yet another controversial topic, but I'm committed this year to being honest. Like that has been something that I feel like I've like held back on some truths because I don't want to hurt people's feelings and I don't want to be combative, but truly, we're going to talk about the truth. I want to talk about fasting today, veganism, and cleansing. And if you're on YouTube, I will link all of the studies to my description box because I'm just tired of the lies and I'm just tired of the madness. And I want to say that I'm not against anyone who engages in these practices. This is merely for you to think about. So let me tell you, when someone comes up to me and says, I want to do intermittent fasting, the first question I ask them is why? And often it's like, well, I've heard people are losing a lot of weight that way. And so I have a friend who did it and she lost like 7 pounds in 14 days. All fine and dandy. And then I ask, and is that friend still fasting? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll say, is she still losing weight? Maybe. Sometimes it's no. Sometimes it's she's gained weight, the weight back. So I want to talk about who intermittent fasting is for and who it is not for. So if you guys know me, you know that I'm not black and white on a lot of things, but there are some things I'm black and white on, like Jesus is God. So like, there's no, when it comes to diet and exercise, I get pretty, the waters are a little muddied. But first of all, I want to say there are benefits to fasting. There are benefits to intermittent fasting, but they're not as extreme as we think they are. And particularly for women, we do not need to be fasting for more than 12 hours for prolonged periods of time. In fact, intermittent fasting has actually shown to be detrimental to women when they engage in it for prolonged periods of time, detrimental to their reproductive health. Your reproductive system, your endocrine system is extremely sensitive to your energy intake, which is your food. So it actually is regulated when you are feeding yourself regularly. Now, intermittent fasting proponents will ignore this, right? Because usually, if I'm being honest, let's say you're doing like a 16-hour fast. You can probably get away with fasting for 16 hours for months, if not years. And I will confess that I was a faster. I would do intermittent fasting for months and multiple times. And every single time, my hormones would start to respond. I would start to have trouble sleeping. I would start to get chin hairs. Okay. My period would be off. And this is why it requires you to know your body, to know when your body is actually making changes that it should not be making. This is every time I fasted because I was a 16/8 faster. Sometimes I fasted for 20 hours. And yes, I lost weight and then I couldn't lose it because my endocrine system, my hormonal system was messed up. So I really need us as women to understand when fasting is appropriate and when it's not. And so if my clients want to fast, I tell them that's fine. You really only need to fast for maybe 14 hours. 14 hours is actually the max for women where they can still fast and not have long term detrimental effects on their hormones. Now, um, the frequency of that is important as well. I personally unintentionally fast on Saturdays because I go running in the morning and I don't want to eat. I even when I ran track, you guys, I never ate before my meets, my first race. So it's about a 12-hour fast for me. If you feel the urge to fast, because I understand there are some benefits to digestion, cell regeneration, and things like that when you are fasting, you really only need to fast for 14 hours to get that effect. And you actually don't need to do it every single day. And if you are a woman, you are setting yourself up for hormonal failure if you're fasting all the time. You want to be able to feed your body regularly. The other thing I want to talk about when it comes to fasting is a lot of people want to fast because it satisfies their binge restrict mechanism, which means they don't eat in the morning and then they get to eat a lot more in the afternoons because even if they're eating within their caloric range, they still get to eat bigger portions. And so what I'm saying, we haven't actually addressed the real issue, which is moderation. IF is not going to fix your moderation issues. IF is not going to fix your emotional eating issues. It's not. And so a lot of people fast because they have a hard time following a moderate uh, diet, moderate caloric intake. And so they fast because it allows them to sometimes bypass that. Unfortunately for women, when you are 16/8 fasting or 24 fasting, so 20 minutes of fasting, 4-hour eating window, 16 hours of fasting, 8-hour eating window, you are actually doing a detriment to your hormonal and endocrine system. So, and this has been studied. Men are very different. We are not the same. I don't know how many times I have to say that. Men and women are not the same. Men can fast for a very long time, for multiple days on end, without the same hormonal effects. Not women. We are carrying whole babies in our wombs potentially. We have whole endocrine system. We have a whole reproductive system that men do not have, which is highly, highly sensitive. And so we have to be careful when we hop on these trends of intermittent fasting that number one, we're doing it for the health benefits. And if you're really doing it for the health benefits, then you're not fasting 16/8 for months on end. You're fasting maybe 3 to 4 times a month for 14 hours. And you can still get the benefits. And I know we live in a culture where, extremes are really, really they're sexy, right? They're attractive. Oh, I fast for 20 hours a day. And it's like, well, at some point, more is not better. And they're actually finding that in these studies that I will link, that more is not better when it comes to fasting. There is actually a sweet spot, particularly for women. 12 to 14 hours, you can still get the benefits. And you don't need to fast every day, and you shouldn't. And if you're fasting to lose weight, you're fasting for the wrong reason. I'm just going to say it. I told you guys, I'm done lying to y'all. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. If you can't eat 3 meals a day in moderation, then we have another problem. The fasting is not going to fix that. It's not going to fix that problem because you still have an emotional eating problem or a stress eating problem. And you're trying to use fasting to cover it up. And you're doing so at the detriment of your health. Okay. So you can still get the benefits from fasting as a woman without doing damage to your to your system. And I really, really wish that women would acknowledge this and more influencers would acknowledge this because in my own practice as a coach and in my own life experience and with other women that I've worked with, this has always been the case. They can fast for about maybe 6 months, some of them to a year, and then boom, body will not lose weight, they'll gain weight. They can't drop weight because their hormonal system has been messed up, irregulated, dysregulated by their fasting. So if you insist on fasting, number one, ask yourself why. Number two, fast for 14 hours max and do so maybe once or twice a week, not every single day. And you can still enjoy the benefits and you're going to save yourself some damage in the long run when it comes to your hormones. You're going to save yourself a lot of damage. Okay. So I'm not with intermittent fasting. My clients, if they want to do it, I tell them the truth and I tell them I don't support that. And if you're trying to put on muscle also, that's not going to be the best way to do it. If you're trying to put on muscle and burn fat long term. Let's talk about veganism. Plant meat is not the same as animal meat. It is not. Um, that doesn't mean that you can't get enough protein from a vegan diet. What my issue with people who go vegan for weight loss is that they still are not addressing the real issue. Again, because you guys know I'm a root cause practitioner. That's what I call myself. Why do you want to go vegan? If it's not because you love animals and you feel like you are doing the work of the Lord by not eating animals, then we need to talk about why you're actually eating it. If it's for your health, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the amino acid profile of plants versus the amino acid profile of animals. And are you getting what you need from your vegan diet? Are you actually getting what you need? You guys, I'm going to tell you something. Vegan is different from vegetarian, but nonetheless, I have a person in my life. I'll keep it specific, very broad because I don't want to out anybody who's young. And this person is a vegetarian and has been a vegetarian for a very long time. The hair is gray, under 18. Injuries galore. Has trouble with maintaining weight. Why? Creatine is found in meat. If you are moving your body, you need creatine. Now, most people who are vegan are not taking creatine because they're not taking it. And I know there's gonna be some people who are like, you're look, I'm just telling you, if you're not going vegan for the animals, let's talk about why you're going vegan. Because we need to understand that it's not the same. A lot of people who go vegan, unfortunately, don't get enough creatine. They don't get the proper amino acid profiles that they need in order to be healthy. And they eat a lot more carbohydrates and a lot more processed foods than they do whole nutrient dense foods. And my problem with people going vegan for weight loss is they are still not addressing the issue, which is if you struggle with eating healthy foods in moderation, the answer is not to go to an extreme. The answer is to ask yourself, why can't I eat healthy foods in moderation? That's actually the question. Because, and I will talk for the Black community, I'll speak for us, myself, and me being a part of it. A lot of us will go vegan because our diet is actually extremely processed. It's high in fried foods, animal proteins, and just fat and carbs combined, and salt. And with that comes a host of diseases. And when we see a study that says red meat causes cancer, by the way, it doesn't. Y'all need to check out Lane Norton and Dr. Gabrielle Lyons. It's that there's not a correlation between red meat and cancer. Just letting you know. We go, okay, well, I'm going to go vegan. And people feel really, really good at first because now they're eating the foods that they should have been eating all along, which is lots and lots of fruits and vegetables, healthy whole foods, potatoes, rice, things that are not highly, highly processed. And so they feel great. But then when it comes down to eating, making sure that you have enough protein, making sure you have enough carbohydrates, and making sure you have the accurate ratios of fat and omega-3s and creatine and amino acids, we're not doing that. If you're going to go vegan, do it the right way. If you're doing it for weight loss, then you have to do it the right way. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is people are like, I'm going vegan. I was in a group the other day. I've been vegan for 6 months and I've gained 5 pounds. I said, yeah, babe, because you went vegan for the wrong reasons. When you should have just gone vegan, you should have just eaten in moderation. I am actually for a plant-based diet, you guys. You know what that means? That means I eat mostly fruits and vegetables and I have moderate amounts of protein and moderate amounts of carbs. I think that's how you should be eating. You should be eating copious amounts of fruits and vegetables and having enough protein and having enough carbohydrates. You should be, but you don't have to go vegan to do that. You don't have to. And because a lot of people don't understand the difference between the animal proteins and the amino acids in animal proteins versus the amino acids in meat, they end up compromising their health by doing so and disappointed. They end up disappointed because if you have not addressed the real issue, which is you struggle with eating the right things in the right amounts, going vegan is not going to help you. Intermittent fasting is not going to help you. You're still going to have the same struggle long term. Okay. So again, I'm not some like super pro red meat person. I think everyone should have moderate amounts of red meat, moderate amounts of fish, moderate amounts of, meat, any, turkey, chicken, et cetera, et cetera. I also think that people should have copious amounts of fruits and vegetables because there's lots of nutrients in there. And that's one of the reasons why veganism is so appealing, because if you come from a culture, Black culture, where fruits and vegetables are not a center and a staple, it's highly appealing. It's like, yeah, that looks healthy. But then we haven't received the nutrients that we actually need from our food, from our protein. And that can cause all sorts of issues in terms of muscle gain, fat burning systems, right? If you want to put on muscle, you're going to have to eat protein. You have to. There are essential amino acids that you need to build muscle. So are you getting that if you're going vegan and just going vegan without hiring someone who can support you in that journey and make sure that you're getting the right amino acids? Because we do not eat meat for protein. We eat meat for amino acids. We do not eat them for protein. We eat them for the amino acid profile. Because yes, you're correct. You can get tons of protein from mushrooms. Ain't the same as meat. It's not the same as protein from chicken. It is not. I don't care. I know people are going to get very upset with me, but it's not. So if you're going to go vegan, you need to go for the right reasons. You need to go and you need to research, what do I need to get to make sure that I'm eating appropriately? And then veganism usually doesn't sound that appealing. It doesn't. Because now it's not, I'm eating a bunch of high sugar, highly processed foods that are labeled vegan. Now it's like, oh man, I've got to eat that beans and quinoa, and I've got to eat a lot more whole nutrient-dense foods than I would have before, because a lot of us go vegan and then it's like, oh, I'm eating these vegan cinnamon rolls and vegan mac and cheese and like, babe, that's not healthy. We went vegan for the wrong reason. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful about why we're doing what we're doing. Root cause practitioning says, I want to lose weight. I want to get healthy. I need to do this the most sustainable and healthy way. Is fasting that way for women? Probably not. Is veganism that way for most people? If you're willing to do the work, yes. If you're not, come on over, get some mindset and food coaching, and let's talk about what you're eating, why you're eating, and how we can make decisions so that are aligned with our goals so that you can eat in moderation. Address that issue. And if you are struggling with stress eating and emotional eating. I have a course that is literally $4.99. It's a workshop. It's listen to the workshop. It is linked in my bio. It is clients are always shocked at how much they learn from that. It's literally, I think it's like $4.99. It might be $12.99 right now because I don't set the pricing. The company does. Get that. Go and get that because that is typically the root issue when it comes to weight loss. It's not that you need to go vegan. You don't fix your diet with another diet. You fix your diet with your mindset. Okay. Cleansing. Let's talk about cleansing really quickly. Did y'all know the best cleanse? God is so amazing. The best cleanse is actually your kidneys and liver. Did you know that? Your kidneys and livers are awesome. The best way to cleanse your body is to drink some lemon water, maybe add some ginger if you need to, and to eat whole, healthy, nutrient dense foods. That is the best cleanse. It's not drinking apple cider vinegar with lemon and ginger all day. It's not juice fasting. It's not. The best way to cleanse your body is to feed it healthy, nutrient dense foods and drink a lot of water. That's the best way to cleanse. Because when I ask people why they want to cleanse, they go, I want to jumpstart my diet. What is your diet though? What is your diet? Your diet is just what you eat. So if you haven't changed what you're eating, what makes you think that all of a sudden losing a bunch of weight is going to help you do that? It's not. A lot of people don't understand the psychology behind that. They think, well, if I just lose weight, then I'll eat healthy. No, you haven't created the habits to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So even if you cleanse, you will go back. You will go back to your diet, your old diet. So instead of cleansing, change your habits. Change your habits. Become the kind of person who exercises every day. Become the kind of person who chooses fruits, vegetables, whole healthy proteins, and carbohydrates. Become that kind of person instead of going to a quick fix, because that's often what people are looking for when they're like, Coach, I'm going to intermittent fast. I'm going to go vegan. I'm going to cleanse. You're looking for a quick fix. And baby, I don't know. I don't like anything quick in my life except, well, I don't like money. I like money quick. Okay, give me my money right quick. They want a fast results. They want it tomorrow. That's like asking for you to pay off your debt in a day. And so what do? You borrow from your 401k. You go to you borrow money from your friends. You try and win the lottery. Like that's what you're literally trying to win the lottery instead of just saving your money. That's what this is akin to. This is akin to trying to win the lottery instead of just the good old fashioned way of let me just change my habits, lose weight slowly, eat whole healthy foods. Because the truth is, you guys, most of y'all can't go vegan for the rest of your life. You can't. Most of you cannot, and most of you won't. Most of you won't. Most of you cannot fast for the rest of your life, and most of you won't. Most of you cannot cleanse for the rest of your life, and most of you won't. So instead, start dealing with what's going on in here and up here. What trauma do I have that's causing me to run to food as a comfort? What addiction do I have to other people's approval that has me thinking that I have to eat a certain way? Like, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's talk about the truth. That is what changes you. It's not going to be fasting. It's not going to be vegan, and it's not going to be cleansing. Cut it out. Cut it out. It's not going to be that. It's going to be when you decide that you are no longer the kind of person who is available to kill yourself with bad food. Yes, I said the word bad. I know people, I am not a bad food person, but you know what I'm talking about. When you decide that you are no longer the kind of person who is going to self-sabotage, when you decide I am no longer available to kill myself slowly. Like if the Lord's going to take me out, it ain't going to be because I got diabetes and high blood pressure. I promise you it won't be that. I promise you, it's not going to be that. It's going to be because it was on his time. It's not going to be because I ate myself to death. It's not going to be that. It's going to be because, it was time. So it's so important, you guys, that you ask yourself these real questions about why you're doing what you're doing. Why am I trying to go vegan? Is it because I want to lose weight quickly? Or is it because I really have some conviction about animals? And if it's because you think red meat's causing cancer, I encourage you to look at some real studies of people who live healthy lifestyles and eat red meat. If it's because you think that chicken's going to kill, I encourage you to look at some studies and ask, is there a real difference between the health of people who are vegan versus people who are not? Because veganism is really an ethical decision. It's not a diet and weight loss decision. It's not, because the research is truly clear. It really is. It really is. So if you are someone who is like, I'm ready, I'm now actually ready to change my life. I'm ready to stop trying to buy a lotto ticket instead of save up my money. Send me a message. I have 3 tiers of coaching. I've got coaching for $12.99. That's for someone who's ready and they just need some accountability weekly. I've got a woman right now who's lost 14 pounds. That's for those of you who don't need that much accountability, but you want me to message me, daily or weekly, and you check in with me. That's $13.99 a month. I've got tier 2, which is we check in every other month. And then I've got tier 3, which is we check in every week and we get video chats as well. It's up to you. It's like, what do you actually need? Let's talk about it, because I'm done with us pretending like we want to change. And so we're trying to get these quick fixes. I want you to really change your life. And I hope you guys, I'm going to be the first one to tell you it's not easy. It's not easy to overhaul your life. And that's why people run to vegan and fasting and cleansing, because when you have to go inside and you have to look at the decisions that you made, and you have to ask yourself, why am I making these decisions, and face the reality, it's work. But none of my clients ever regret that, because the truth is, when you change your lifestyle, your entire world changes. Your entire world changes. When you really get to the bottom of things, your entire world changes. So you have to be ready. You have to be ready. If you keep saying you want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, be ready. Be ready to say no to people. Be ready to say no. Be ready to say, this is who I am. I am no longer a person who's available to sabotage my health. I'm no longer the kind of person who's willing to compromise my health to make you feel happy and to make you feel accepted. This journey is yours. And I think that's why people try and run to fast, quick fixes instead of actually changing, because it usually disrupts your entire ecosystem when you change. Because you spent the past 25, 30, 40 years with these habits, and we're trying to bypass them by saying, well, I'm going to do intermittent fasting, or maybe if I go vegan, then I can lose this weight, or maybe I can cleanse. And it's like you're trying to bypass the real work that starts in here. And that's why I told you I was over fitness. I'm over it. I'm over it. Because you can go to the gym all day and you can intermittent fast, you can go vegan. But if you don't fix what's going on in here and up here, you'll quit and start again, and quit and start again, and quit and start again, and be on that cycle. So when are you going to make the decision that I'm not going to try and do a quick fix? If you want to intermittent fast for health, I've told you how to do that. If you want to go vegan, I've told you how to do that properly. you better make sure that that's something you want to do for the rest of your life, not just to lose weight. If you want to cleanse, don't do that. I can't endorse it. I rebuke it. I rebuke cleanses, all of them, in the name of Jesus. I am all about truly mental, emotional, spiritual health. And that requires inner work. So that is what I do as a coach. I deal with that because my passion is helping you change your life. My passion is not you getting a quick fix. My passion is helping you change your life. So as I told you, I've got 3 tiers of coaching. I've got $13.99 a month. I've got tier 2 and tier 3. And when you're ready, you can just send me a message and say, I'm finally ready now. I'm finally ready. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I know this journey is hard. I know because I've been there. People don't know. I've been that girl who, couldn't stop eating. I've been that girl who could down a whole large pizza. I've been that girl who starved myself. I've had eating disorders. I've had binging disorder. I've had anorexia. I've had the other ones, which I won't say on YouTube because I don't want to get banned. Y'all don't know. I've been there. I know what it's like to have to face that. So when you're ready, I'm here for you. That's my job. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go, and one of my clients is just amazing. I'm about to go see her, and I will talk to you guys later. I'll link my courses in the description box. I'll link my website, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's for my YouTube people over here. My Instagram people, sorry, y'all. Like. Yes, like, comment, share, subscribe too. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.